Okay, thank you for sitting
Fired
down.
up and ready to go.
Okay,
Yeah, okay.
are you?
Glad to be here.
I just want to get your take on Rauner's victory yesterday.
Well, I think we were happy to win the primary in the Democratic Party. That's first and foremost for me. I don't know that much about the Republican primary. I think we ought to give Kurt Diller a lot of credit. He never quit, and I don't agree with Kirk on everything, but I certainly admired his perseverance and not letting the polls get him down. And clearly, I think for all of his bluster and all of the money that Rauner spent in the primary, he certainly underperformed. And there are a lot of folks in Illinois, I think, waiting for an explanation from Bruce Rauner about his own words. He called for reducing the minimum wage, and we have him on videotape. There he is. And I think the people of Illinois think that's a real important issue. I think the people of America think it's an important issue. For folks who work in difficult jobs, hard jobs, who only make the minimum wage of $8.25, it's very hard to raise a family on. And I think we should raise the wage to at least $10, as President Obama has talked about. And that we're not going to let the Republican candidate for governor in the state of Illinois get away with avoiding this issue. He has a lot of explaining to do about how a billionaire with 9 mansions can have the gall to call for cutting the minimum wage on hardworking people, thousands of them in Illinois who live on the minimum wage. It's just heartless, and those kind of values are what people look for in a governor, in my opinion.
I asked Bruce Rauner if he was part of the so-called 1%, and he corrected me and said, no, I'm probably 0.01%. How would you answer that question?
Well, I have one home. I don't have 9 mansions. I will never be part of the 1%. As a matter of fact, I'll be about 102 when I pay back my kids' college loan. So I think it's important to understand that it isn't going to be who has the most money who wins this election. It's who connects to everyday people who are the heart and soul of Illinois.
A lot of the theme in Rauner's campaign was that taking money from unions was, tantamount to taking a bribe, because you're, on the one hand, negotiating these contracts. What do you think about that rhetoric?
Well, I think it's a lot of baloney. I mean, people have a right to form organizations, unions, to bargain for their wages and their working conditions. That's as American as apple pie. That's good for America. It helps our economy to make sure that people have a decent wage and decent health care and decent benefits. So, I just don't know what he's driving at. Is he trying to, first of all, he's against minimum wage workers. He wants to drive them down and literally take $2,000 out of their pockets. And then for folks who form a union, vote for a union, he wants to attack those unions and make it hard for people to have that ability at the bargaining table to get a fair deal. These plutocrats at top of the power heap, they may have a lot of money, but they don't have any understanding of everyday people and what they go through. And I think in this campaign, we're going to make it crystal clear that we know what it's like. I know firsthand how to fight hard for working people who don't have a champion. That's how we started the Citizen Utility Board. I started that group, and 30 years ago it started, and it's still around today, to fight for consumers against big utility companies. And all these big shots, they're in for a good surprise this year, because I fight for hard-working people and big issues that count.